In the United Kingdom, 45% of the population identifies as working class, but only 15% of people who work in STEM come from low-income backgrounds. If you drill that further down into particular disciplines, the numbers get worse. So for example, only 6% of medics come from working class backgrounds. That means that for most low-income youth, there will be no one in their families or communities who work in STEM. If you compound that with lack of career advice and opportunities to explore STEM outside the classroom, it means that low-income youth tend to have low science capital. Science capital is something we all have to some degree. It's how we think about science, it's who we know in science, it's how we act, it's what we do. And if you have few connections to science in your day-to-day life, you are less likely to have high science capital, and you are less likely to pursue science outside of school. Compound that again with the fact that for most STEM professions, you still need some kind of higher education. And there again, low-income youth are underrepresented. In the UK, low-income youth tend to go to university at a rate of about 24%, which is about half of that of their wealthier peers. Now, this is a problem we should be worried about, not just because we want STEM to be more rich from diversity, but also because STEM jobs tend to be good jobs. STEM professions tend to have salaries of roughly 20% more than other professions, and therefore that is a route to economic equity in a country where social mobility is still one of the lowest in the developed world. So, In2ScienceUK looks at this problem from 3 interventions. The first is to bring low-income youth together with STEM professionals to give them a chance to build those types of communities and connections that their wealthier peers have just by virtue of who their parents are. So students are invited to spend time with academic researchers in labs, out in the field with engineers, anywhere where STEM takes place, and that gives them a chance to learn more about what those jobs look like and feel like, and to build those communities for themselves. The second intervention is a series of skills days and workshops that we run that help students explore further topics and careers in STEM. And that gives them, again, the chance not just to build their own knowledge, but to develop the type of engagement habits that will make them lifelong STEM learners. Finally, we work with students to build their capacity to apply successfully to university. Most of the students we work with will be the first in their families to go to university, which means there's not always the resources immediately available to figure out how to do that. And so we run events so that students can meet people who work at universities, meet university students, and learn more about how they too can be successful in getting to the spots at university that they need to be in. The program has been running now since 2011. It started as the side project of my colleague while she was doing her PhD. And since then, we have placed over 1,000 students in a variety of disciplines and positions throughout London and Oxford and Cambridge. Those students have been hosted by over 600 hosts and volunteers, some of whom are in this room today, actually. And we do know that the program is having an impact. We know, for example, that our students report that at the end of the experience, they are likelier to read about STEM on their own. We know they talk about how much more confident they feel talking to STEM professionals just in their day-to-day lives. And we know that they feel a lot better about their chances of getting into the universities they want to get into. Our alumni work in STEM. They attend master's and PhD programs. This fall, the 2017 cohort started at 33 different universities in the UK. And we know that because they continue to come back and share their experiences with us and with the new students in the program. We visit every student on their placement. Which is becoming a challenge because we're about to expand further in the UK, but we visit everyone because we think it's important to see what they have to say while they're actually in the experience. And what we hear from our students is that in addition to all of the amazing technical and substantive things that they learn, what they want to tell us most about, wait for the cough. What they want to tell us most about is just how friendly everyone is. How amazed at how welcoming everyone is. And that, to me, is one of the most important things about In2ScienceUK, is that students come to us with a lot of preconceptions about what people in STEM are like. And what they leave with is a sense of community and a sense of belonging, that they really haven't just been invited to those spaces, but that they belong there should they choose to be there. And I would love to take some questions now. Thank you. No? Great. Okay, great. Thanks.